Hey y'all, welcome back. I hope you guys are ready for tonight. This is going to be a long call, so definitely have your notepad ready. Questions, I know for sure we're not going to really be able to watch the chat so much tonight and ask too many questions, answer too many questions. So, if you are wanting the recording for this, they will be available in the VIP lounge. Let's see. I will drop the link for the VIP lounge. So the VIP lounge for the people that are just joining us tonight, it is totally optional. This is a free call, so we're not trying to upsell you or anything like that. It's just information. If we have time, which I really, really doubt, then we open the chat for questions. But the VIP lounge is where we're able to really answer questions that you all will have or may have. So I will drop that. The VIP lounge, it comes with the recordings for the call. Let me get that. So you will get the recording for every single call. I'm also adding my dispute letters in the mix as well. So you will get access to my dispute letters. Let's see. All right. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. We already got 14 people. I'm gonna just give it like 2 to 3 more minutes for other people to kind of come in and join us. And if you can hear me just fine, you know the routine, put thumbs up in the chat. If you are just joining us for the first time tonight, put a one in the chat. Welcome, Desiree. Shakia, friend, y'all welcome. All right. Like, so you guys have missed some great information, but that is fine because it's going to be some good information being given tonight. I've been telling y'all, this is the day y'all gonna need some liquor. Like, this is gonna be some overwhelming information. So you gonna need it all for sure. Let's see. All right. So, since we have so much information, I am literally not going to wait any longer. We'll go ahead and jump straight into today's call. So far, we've kind of set the tone as far as our flow. We talked about some strategies with like difficult accounts like student loans, late payments, repossessions, and different things like that. So, we're gonna walk you through the flow. Now, as you guys already know, I tell you this, me and Lakil, we dispute differently. A lot of things we do alike, but when it comes to disputing, you definitely want to have different strategies. I think a lot of times when you just have one way of doing stuff, when that way no longer works, it leaves you lost. So we're gonna be just walking through both of our flow. So day one, we gave you the foundation. Day two, we broke down specialty accounts. And day three, this is the actual dispute flow. No random letters, no magic wording, a real disputing system with structure, time, and documentation, escalation, and a clear stopping point. Because that's one question that I get a lot of times with mentees like, when do I stop? At what point do I need to call it quits? And there is a point in my time where I do. So we'll be talking about that. So, disclosures. Nothing in this training should be taken as legal advice. I'm not an attorney. We are teaching our process, the dispute system we use, um, just what we've developed through our experience. I've been in the credit repair industry since 2014. I started Credit Miracles in 2018. So just experience what I've learned, results, client files, just factual disputing. So there's different techniques. So we'll be talking through this. So this is our way. No legal advice. Want to definitely set that disclosure. So by the end of this is kind of what I want you to, what you'll be learning. How credit report dispute actually moves through the credit reporting system, because I did not know this. I didn't know I ain't know nothing. Okay, I was just doing stuff. Why some disputes receive better results, how to properly build a factual dispute, how dispute reasons and instructions work together. Um, my dispute flow is 8 rounds. It can be a little longer, but I have 8 rounds. When to escalate, when to consider a CFPB complaint, and when to stop. So that's what we'll be talking a little bit about tonight. How many of you guys have seen this industry update that's launched today that the C put one of you have seen this today and two of you have not. The CFPB announced changes to the consumer complaint system. All right, so we got some ones and we got some twos. So that's great. So one thing about the industry, it changes. If you were with us at day one, we told y'all what worked in 2015, even 2018, 2020, it ain't working in 2026. So there are going to be changes and yep, they just updated it. And you definitely, okay, let me, I am sharing my screen. I'm happy. Oh, look, I'm happy somebody said something. Look, the people that have been here, y'all already know PowerPoint always on point. So I'm happy somebody mentioned that. So these are some of the changes that happen. So the credit repair industry again is always changing. Laws are always changing, procedures, complaint systems. So this is why I recommend personally um checking for industry updates every 3 months. But like if you are in groups and stuff and credit repair groups, y'all know we know like we drop it. So you are able to definitely see when some changes. But I'll be on top of this. I found something out with ChatGPT that just happened. But I have it to where it checks every day for a credit repair update or industry update and it notifies me. So that's how I found out about this update today. So if you use ChatGPT or Cloud to your best advantage. But even if nothing changed, you still want to know that nothing changed. So if it did change, cool. If it did not change, fine as well. So read it for definitely so for more updates if you haven't. If you haven't seen what the changes were, and I'll kind of talk about a little bit of what changed. So this is just in a nutshell. Definitely read it for yourself. So basically, the CFPB is saying that right now, a lot of credit repair companies are just filing CFPB complaints. And they've said basically it has gotten out of hand. And that's why they've added like some additional methods with like validation codes and all this stuff, which I'm not even aware because believe it or not, I barely file CFPB complaints since I've been in the credit repair industry, since I worked with over 10,000 people, I've only filed two. So some people again do it differently. You'll see some people that file it every single time. It's different, but I've only had to file two complaints. So credit repair companies are using these complaints pretty much as a shortcut opposed to like a escalation. And originally too, this is what I learned as well that that's what it's used for. It's basically if your complaints were ignored, you've contacted the credit bureaus, you contacted the creditors and you it's not been resolved, then you go to the CFPB. That's why I haven't had to use it because I'm rarely ignored. It happens, but it's a rare situations. I'm gonna let some people in too. So basically, this is just a strategy that a lot of people have been using to kind of manipulate the system. So if your strategy is just CFPB, that's all you know how to do, this call is definitely going to be beneficial to you because some new techniques you have to, they changing it completely. They're winging a lot out. So you definitely have to get a better strategy besides the CFPB complaints. Now, again, I am not saying it's gone. I'm not saying you cannot use this method. I don't want you to even hear that. You can, but they want it to be treated as a escalation tool, not as round one. I'm filing the CFPB complaint. All right, so this is kind of a little bit of the flow. Dispute with the credit bureaus first. Keep every single thing. Now, as stuff popping up in my head, I'm just gonna be saying some stuff. So, Right now, well, everyone should be keeping your client files. I mean, I keep everything. I mean, letters I mail, conversations, text messages, email, all that stuff. I do keep it outside of my credit repair software because I just think, what if the credit repair company shut down? Like, it's still my responsibility to keep that stuff. So I use Dropbox, but some of my mentees, some people use Google Drive. I store them and keep my documents for 5 years. The reason I keep it for 5 years is because that's how long consumers can sue you. If you don't know, they have up to 5 years to sue you. Um, but 2 years is the standard for keeping this. But again, I keep it for 5 years. What I do is I create a folder for every single client and every single interaction, it goes to their folder. Goes to their folder. Yes. And all calls are recorded. I learned that in banking. Look, all calls are recorded. So we track everything and keep everything. Um, weak disputes. So this is going to be again all about strategy. What a weak file cannot show you. So a weak file cannot show you what is disputed, when it was disputed, who received the dispute, what response came back. So keep every single thing. The stronger your documentation is, the stronger your escalation. So we're going to be talking about like just a lot of stuff on this call. Like it's just so much information that we're going to be talking about. This is a good one. This is me. I always every time I teach something, I always think about when it was me. Now, look, kid, I don't know if you was doing this when you got started, but I did not know how the process actually works. Like I thought that I mailed a dispute letter in, somebody read it in real time, and I don't know what the hell I thought happened. I don't know. So when you first started, look here, how did you think the process went when you sent out a dispute letter?
I think I thought I was supposed to just mail the letter and just really wait for a response. So sometimes I wasn't responding back until like 60 days, 70
Mm,
days. So
that
I
was me.
really, yeah, I wanted to see, and then I would wait on each bureau. So I would wait till Equifax, wait till TransUnion, wait till Experian, and everybody responded very
Late,
differently.
yeah.
Yeah.
60, 90 days. So if
Yeah.
you are doing that too, and that's one thing too, you don't have to wait on a response. So I know some of y'all like, what? I don't have to wait on a response though. And that's where it comes to reading the reports and stuff too. Because when you do send a dispute, can anybody tell me what's supposed to happen to the credit report when something is in dispute?
It should update. The credit report should update and mark it as being in dispute, right?
That's correct. That is
Yes.
correct. So that was the answer. It's supposed to show that the account is in dispute. And a lot of people don't know that, but on the credit report, it will say this account is in dispute. So you have to follow that. So if they got it, you don't have to wait on a response. Like, don't do that. I was doing that, and like the kid said, it was taking the people a long time. It's snail mail. That's what I call it. It's snail mail. So even though they may have responded in 30 days to me for me to get it, like and at that time, the post office it was crazy doing COVID and stuff. So it was taking a while for clients to get mail, and we already know they already be waiting even longer when they get the mail. So I want to talk about the process and the flow a little bit. So somebody is not sitting behind a desk. They're not reading your letter word for word. And then they decide like if your account is gonna be deleted. That was some way of my thinking. But that's not how I go. Like, so I'm gonna tell y'all how it actually goes. So this is what really happens every time you mail a dispute letter into the credit bureaus. It is a 12 step process. Very long. You prepared a dispute letter. So hopefully your dispute letter is clear, it's factual, it's tied to an actual issue. You mail it through snail mail, USPS. It arrives to the credit bureau center, which takes 7 to 10 days. It's scanned in and it's pretty much digitalized through like an internal system. And some of the things that's abbreviated, I'm gonna explain to y'all if y'all haven't like heard these names before. OCR actually reads the text. So the printed words, they from what you put on a letter, they convert it. So based on what you put, it's then categorized. So the issue is sorted through, and that's where they assign a Oscar code. The Oscar code is like a summary of the issue that's at hand. From that point, they transmit the information, the code to the data furnisher, the credit bureau, the creditor, and it's sent electronically. I don't know why I thought that he was on the phone talking, or I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know how I thought his communication was done, but it wasn't this. I didn't know that it was like a system. Everything is electronically. So basically, the furnisher will review the file. So the source company will check the records in the account history. From there, they respond to the credit bureaus, and that's why a lot of stuff come back verified because they don't have to at this point. They don't have to provide proof that it was verified. All they got to say is we verified it's right, and the credit bureaus then update the report and say, "Hey, they verified it," and that's where it comes in. Um, so either what happens at this point, like once either the creditor responds and say, "Hey, whatever the reason is, we don't have it or whatever, delete it." They don't respond and they delete it anyway, or they're going to just say it's verified or it's left unchanged. So that's what happened in step 11, and then step 12, the final investigation, and the person gets the results back to them. So that's how it is. Everything is electronically. Not one part of this process says a real person actually is reading every single letter that comes in. Now there's some strategies that you can use to get real eyes on it if that is your initial approach. In anything here, Lakia, that you want to add to the dispute process?
Honestly, no, because that's exactly how it is.
Perfect.
But that's why I tell people 6 to 9 months, or sometimes 6 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I try to stop at like round nine.
Me too. Round eight.
Round nine is my like, hey, look, we probably need to settle. We need to do something like
Yes.
that. I really don't like to do like I don't mind doing pay for deletions, but
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to have it removed first and then paid if it's at that point.
Right. Yep. So our flow is pretty much the same. So
Mhm.
that's how it works. So if it's your first time seeing it, I get it. I don't think I saw this stuff until like year three. Like I did not
Yeah,
know.
and that's why the paper trail is very, very important. So when you do go to the CFPB, they do ask for proof
Mm-hmm.
of those letters. So if you have a paper trail, that's why I love doing black and white, and I do black and white and CFPB. If I'm like trying to be really, really aggressive,
Right.
but I also do backdating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's
so
a lot of different techniques. But yeah, so the CLPB, you gotta have that proof. That's what they winging out. So they're not saying you can't come to them. They want you to come to them, but have you have
they
you
want
tried
you
to
to try
resolve it?
first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
they
actually
want you to
tried?
yeah, they want you to try first. They want you to send in, and nothing beats nothing like black and white. If you have things in black and white when you're settling, when you're making negotiations, it look better without
Mm-hmm.
with the black and white.
Cause they gonna slip up. Better believe some people gonna slip up. They're not gonna respond. They're gonna do so. It's still gonna be there. So that's the thing. CLPB is not the first way. So don't think that we saying you can't use it because you can't. And it's if you follow like my flow, it's rarely needed. But I do have it in place if it comes. So OCR. So OCR was a part of the process here. Number 5, it's basically an optical character recognition. So it's technology that reads the text from the letter. Um, from a printed or a scanned document, it turns it into digital information. So basically, I don't know if y'all have, I was talking about this yesterday or the first day, the post office where you can get your mail scanned in and you can know what's coming in. That's basically what this system does. All it does is scan in the page, the image, the force process, it reads the text, and identify words and converts this to data. So it's just a system. If it needs clarification, if something is missing, this is where it comes in. Like people like, why I didn't get a response or why this? Your letter probably wasn't clear, so it could not be recognized. So that's where those stall letters come in. That's where they just ignore you out the gate. They just simply ignore you. So you want to make sure that your letter is easy for the system to read, and for the bureaus to process it. So keep that in mind. All my letters are very basic. Like I have some not all of them, but I have some aggressive letters. But for the most part, like starting the process clean, direct, and very specific. So this is why formatting matters. Your dispute letter should be easy to read. The clearer it is, the easier for the system to understand what is being disputed and what action is requested. So these are some things I avoid. I avoid like overcrowded paragraphs. too many issues in one sentence, random language, like legal language everywhere. And this again, if you got POA and all that, which we'll get into, it's okay to throw those laws in. I'm not saying that, but some people letters be like legal down, going off. Like it be a lot. I've seen some letters and was like, this
And
is
they do work at times, but not all the time.
mm-hmm.
I was getting more deletions with my curse out letters like than I was the Metro 2 compliance.
Yeah, I do
Um,
Metro too.
yeah, like all of the USC 15, the codes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that they don't work, but when I was like really cursing people out, like you got my life fucked up. I need help. I for real, those are some of my letters, and it was working better than because it sounded like a regular person that was frustrated
Right.
versus somebody that went to law school.
And my letters are very dummy down. It doesn't have, and I have letter for people that want laws in there, but I teach like you don't. It's not needed. Like you don't have to go in shotguns out. FC like RA section 6. You don't have to do that. So if you like I said, Lakia letter, now her letters is cussing, is going off, but guess what? She got those reasons, she got what she wanted to happen. So it's not the letter too, it's the letter too, but she has a clear strategy. She's telling what she wants done, what they're messing up. Like people have all these emotional storytelling letters, cussing out, but they don't have no reason. They still the letter,
At
they
all.
still can't assign why you sent this letter. If you got all these cuss words and your letter say validate, that ain't good enough. So it's
Yeah,
more than a
yeah,
letter. You got to still have a good strategy.
yes.
The bureaus, they can't guess what you want. You got to be clear as day,
Mm-hmm.
exactly what it is that you want them to do. Oscar.
Yeah.
Now I can tell y'all for sure. Oscar, I ain't know nothing about Oscar when I first started. That's why I used to validate for every single reason. When I started. So it's basically, long word, electronic online solution for complete and accurate reporting. So the Bureau uses this to send dispute details to the company who's reporting the account. So in English, plain English, this is how the Bureau communicates the issue with the creditor. Um, so they can review and respond to it. So an example, it can be the original creditor, the collection agency, the loan servicer, whoever it is. But it's a web-based system. Again, online. They process the reporting information between the consumer, the reporting agency, the furnisher, and it turns into a reason code. So if you have not heard of e-author codes, you can look it up after the call and you will see it's a 2 to 3 digit code. But what they do, and they're getting this code from your letter. So if your letter doesn't tell them what you're wanting, doesn't have a clear reason, and they can't assign it to a code, it's not even making it to the furniture because you already lost the bureau. So what the bureau does from your letter, from your dispute, they will classify the dispute, assign the issue, and then send it electronically. So the company here, they would just kind of again respond back to it. Like, so most of the time when you are sending disputes round one, some stuff do come back verify, and it's standard. Like, don't let verify get you like, oh my gosh, what do
Right.
I do next? Like when I first started, once I got verified, I ain't what do I do next? So don't let verify scare you because literally all they going back and saying that it was verified. So data furniture. So data furniture is the company that provides information to the credit bureaus, credit card companies, auto lenders, mortgage company, y'all just a list. So the bureau reports the information that the furniture gives them. And this was one thing that I struggled a lot with starting out because I had a hard time understanding like what it is that the credit bureaus do. So when you go and you ask for like certain documentation and stuff like that, the credit bureaus, they don't necessarily house the information. Like they don't, I can only imagine how busy like their system will overload if they had everything that were requested, for instance, and it's gonna go a little bit into this process, but they just furnish whatever credit acceptance tell them, whatever Capital One tell them, they just put it on there. So they don't hold none of the proof that you're asking for. They just report whatever the company tells them. So these are some common codes. These are not all the codes for eOscar, but these are some of the stuff that like the code is turned to. So if you have like you're disputing an account and it says like not my account, it would be like it would say that you're disputing the ownership. Balance is not correct. It would say amount, payment history, late occurrence. So that's how it is. This is what they're choosing from your letters. Just these
Yeah.
whatever you're disputing to be incorrect, including bankruptcy, legal status. So I know y'all be thinking that it's a whole bunch, but it's that reason and instruction. That's why the dispute reason actually matters.
Correct. And because it actually no human hands ever touch a dispute now.
Yes. AI
That's
is
like
definitely not.
yes. So and only way it touches a human's hands is if you send it directly to the furnisher.
Hmm.
That's the only way, and then it goes straight to their legal team.
That's it. So
That's it.
everything electronically. So you don't want to trick because he didn't even know way to trick the system. But I want to allow I'll be saying tricking, but it's not really even tricking. It's just making sure your letter is clear. It is you have a reason exactly what it is that you're wanting why you're disputing the account because you can't just say I'm disputing it. Like it has to be a reason as to why, and they have to be able to assign it to a code in order to be able to communicate with the furniture on that. So a strong
Yeah, I
first
was
dispute
yeah, when
letter.
I first started disputing, I was not doing
Baby, I wish I can look
it.
at some of these letters that I did in 2018. I laugh, man. Like it's
Yeah,
funny.
verify, delete. Like
That's
that's
it.
all I was saying. I didn't tell them what was wrong with the account. I was just pressing the button and clicking and sending it in and was like, yep, I disputed.
That's it, baby. And I used that template in CRC. Look, round one.
Yes.
That was
Round
it.
one that they made for you, baby. Round one.
Hmm.
Validate and it got the little stuff, the drop boxes and stuff.
Yep.
Validate this. This. Yeah.
That was it. Validate and verify was every single thing. And even they did
Everything.
verify. I didn't even know what I'm supposed to do after that. So it's a
Nope.
lot. It's a lot that goes to it.
It
So
is.
like I said, your letter, it ain't the letter. It's all that strategy. It's all what you're putting into it. So intake, this is Stu. I think the your dispute, like a strong dispute starts before you even send a letter out. So every credit repair company needs to have their own workflow. This is mine. This is mine. I want to look for purposes. This is how I do it. So identification, we know that I do get proof of identity every single client. Nothing can be expired, nothing like that. I can use passport. The ID, the address don't matter for the ID, just identity. I do get proof of residence. I try to get like documents that actually like official documents, bank statement, W-2, tag receipt, some stuff like that. Of course, sign
Yeah.
agreement, disclosures, credit monitoring. I get power of attorney. Right now, we talked about this. Lakia doesn't get power of attorney on her letters. I get mine. We get the same result. So it's not necessarily something that's required or anything that's going to kind of help your results. Because again, we one company does it, one company don't. The reason that I do it is because I want the letters to come directly to me because we know clients don't send in mail. So this is one way that I can get the disputes. And the next thing for power of attorney, it has helped tremendously in my style letters. So that's why I get limited power of attorney. And any other documents that they say, like, hey man, I paid that account, but it's still showing this. So any proof that they got for me, I want it. So this is
Yeah.
everything that I get up front. Is there anything that you get up front besides these things, Lakia, that kind
No.
of helped your process?
No, none of these. Sometimes I get the full social, depending
Okay,
on what type of accounts I use. Like
gotcha.
I've had twin sisters mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was needed to show who was who. I've had even family members with the last same four of the social, like
Okay.
7553. I was shocked to see that, but it happens. So I had to use just full social to let them know that this person is this person and that person is that person. And I did one client where that came in help handy because they had her bankruptcy merged with another woman's that had her exact name, and I want to say their birthday was off a day.
And the thing
Hmm.
about it happens, like mixed file happens all the time. Especially like I said, if they're twins, it happens. Mother and daughter with the same name, junior, senior, the third. I seen
Yeah,
it too. It definitely happens with that. So that's the extra thing you can get. The Social Security card is not required, so therefore I don't
not
get it.
required.
But a case like this again, where you have to show some proof, definitely go ahead and
Yes,
get the social. So this is just again telling y'all why I get limited power of attorney. It is not the same as traditional broad POA. This just gives me simply all it does is give me permission to communicate on the client behalf for disputes. That's all it does. So it does not give me control over their finances, does not give me authority over bank accounts, none related to the dispute process. So, and I get it for 12 years. It is notarized. So it's just not a regular paper that they sign it. It has to be notarized and signed by the client. and I send it to the creditor and I send it to the credit bureaus the first time I dispute with either one of those. So that's my little thing that I kind of get. So let me go
My
here.
soft pool. I ain't never heard of that,
The
Brown.
POA.
No, no, she said she used a system called I soft pool.
Let's see.
I gotta see what that is. Never heard of it.
Oh yeah, me either. I stopped using credit monitoring. I use a system called iSoftPool. So for iSoftPool, is it compatible with the software? Is it making you have to do stuff manual?
Mm-mm. I can pull it the same way. It's pretty much manual, but I'm able to pull it because I was having a hard time. Nobody wanted to pay for credit monitoring. And even when I told them, like, they would stop. They'd be like, I can't pay for both and stuff like that. So I was like, my biggest issue was the credit monitoring. So when I soft pull called me, I didn't tell at first. I told them I did credit repair and they kicked me out. Was like I would have to go somewhere else. But then when they came back, I told them somebody else contacted me and I told them I didn't mention nothing about credit repair. I just told them I do funding. And so I can put just like the mortgage companies and all of that, I can put a FICO scores and I can put Vantage scores.
Gotcha. Well, I can tell you now, Latia, when you said manual, you already lost me. I ain't doing that manual. I don't know about you,
When she
Lakia.
said, oh, I ain't doing the manual, and when she said they don't want to pay
Want to
for credit
pay?
monitoring, I will curse
They
the
ain't a
client
client
out
for
because
me.
as soon as you buy a McDonald's, a Fendi, a Gucci, or anything on your Facebook post that I felt like they could have went towards your credit monitoring, we have a problem.
I'm telling you. So that's me. I ain't doing that manual. I can tell you that now. So
Yeah,
I stop pull ain't gonna work for me because I'm just not doing the manual. It ain't man. I'm not doing it. I'm not. If you
no,
guys want to try a soft pull, but clients don't want to pay for credit monitor, I can tell you now. They're headache client. I have over literally 12,000 people in my software. If I had to do everything manual, my head would be gray. I would be in the hospital, and I'm just not. I'm just not doing that. But
yeah,
it's
it's a
definitely like a
lot
good
of work.
resource.
Yeah, as much as we explain, could y'all imagine doing this on hands? And some people come from that, doing it on hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Bless they heart,
Hmm.
because baby,
For
don't
sure.
don't come over here.
So everything I do when it comes to like everything, it got a purpose. Like I said, it has to make sense. So when I do dispute, I don't dispute just because, like, just to dispute. Like before I do anything, it has to make sense. So every dispute has to have a purpose. If it doesn't have a purpose, I don't send it. What I mean, what purpose? What exactly am what am I disputing? Why
Yes,
am I disputing this account? What facts support my position and what outcome am I requesting? So this is a strong dispute start before the letter. The entire credit report. We know we can all get that. So look at the entire credit report. Previous investigation results, like if too. I know a lot of people come from other companies and stuff like that. If I had a client that came from another company, I do require them to get their letters. It's their letters. They can get it. And clients can request y'all for y'all letters too. Some people don't give it to them, but I do. The reporting history, supporting documents, again, previous dispute letters, reasons and stuff being used. I look at everything. The better you prepare, the stronger your dispute will actually be. So choosing reasons and instruction. This is a big one for me. This is where a lot of people messed up. I reviewed some accounts today with some of my mentees and we like who are new to credit repair and validate was the reason for every single one. Validate and delete. And I told them, listen, you're gonna have to send round one again and make sure I look at it before you send it this time because that was my strategy. I already know what's gonna happen from that. So the dispute reason has to match exactly what's being reported on that credit report. Don't dispute, like, just again validate. That's easy. Don't dispute what's easy. Dispute was actually inaccurate. That's factual disputing. A lot of people hear factual disputing, but they don't really know what it is. At least, again, I can go by me. When I heard factual disputing, I thought that was validate. I thought factual mean I put validate on every single thing, and it is not. It means that what the facts. What do I see on this credit report that's inaccurate? Because that's what I need to do. So, is the balance incorrect? Is the account status, and we see that a lot where two credit bureau shows open, one of them show closed. Is the date of first the delinquency wrong? Duplicate reporting, incorrect payment history, incorrect open date. This is what you're looking for. When we say dispute reasons, these are your reasons, not
Yes.
validate. Now, I use validate. I'm gonna tell you, validate is the very last option, very last thing that I use. Basically, it's rare, but there's accounts where maybe I don't have a credit bureau to compare it to. I don't have anything to compare it to, so I can't use any of these reasons. It is still the client's right to ask for validation. In order for a company to collect validation, they must provide validation. So I don't just completely cut validation out, but it's not every single account. All most of your accounts can have a reason that you can actually choose. So if you're right now, if you're using validate for every single time and you're getting stall letters, you're not getting a response, I'm telling you that's what it is. Validation is a consumer right. It's the right. They can ask for validation, but I don't start with just validate. So this is the right. Consumers can request validation. It does matter. It protects the consumer, and it does give their file another tool when the timing is right. Validation and bureau disputes are completely different. And what I mean with this, verification and validation, they're completely different. And I had to learn the difference between both of them. And when I first started, this is something that had me in a chokehold too. I was like, what's verification? What's validation? What is it's a lot. So facts first, validation later. Now, we can be honest. We can be honest in this group. Right now, if you're struggling with disputing, if you are struggling with disputing, if you're using validation the first round, put one in the comments. If you're using another reason and you feel like it's not working, put two. Or you're using these reasons that we kind of mentioned today. Okay. All right. So we got some twos here. Okay, so the people that are putting that they're using like the factual disputing reasons. Now I put two, I asked if it's not working for you. So for the people that are using the factual dispute reasons and you feel like it's not working, are you using template letters? And you can put yes or no. Or are you creating your own letters? Okay. Okay, so we got a mixture. Some people using templates, some people creating their own, a mix of both. So we got a few different little strategies in here. So I love it. So yeah, I love everyone. So I create my own for each client. Perfect. So we got a mixture of template, a mixture of both, a mix. So I love it. Um, what is reporting inaccurately? So again, my process is fact based. Stick to the facts. So the first question I ask before I draft anything is what is reporting inaccurately? That's it. I identify what's accurate, what's inaccurate. That becomes a dispute. I create a clearer request. What I mean by a clearer request, if you have paper trail, that's always great. It's better for an investigation. But what do you want to happen? Do you want this account to be deleted? Do you want this account to be updated, corrected? Like what do you want to happen? Your letter should have a clear dispute reason and it also should have a clear instruction. Um so I'm not looking for and like again loopholes and arguments internet myth that I'm seeing, none of that matters. You want to get straight to what is wrong and that you want them to fix it. You can use a basic dispute letter or you can use a curse out letter. Not a dispute letter from that credit repair cloud and these softwares now. And if you are using that letters, update it. Make it your own. Anything different that you're doing right now at the beginning part, like with choosing a reason and instruction, look here.
And all you have to do is not so far. It just depends on what it just to me it depends on the account on how I attack it. But also when y'all updating y'all letters, if y'all gonna use the template letters and y'all can't be creative kind of on your own, drop that same letter that's in the template into Chat GPT or Claude and ask it to update it and change the verbiage.
Because it
If you do
will.
that, it'll change it to make it your own or ask it to speak in your tone. And so my
Mm-hmm.
Claude kind of know how I talk, so it updates any letter I want it to in my tone. Um,
Same.
no, so you like your own. It's just man. I go off the. Well, you do too as well. Like I treat charge-offs differently than I would a regular
Mm-hmm.
collection.
Yep.
If it's with a credit bureau, I mean, if it's with a creditor or if it's with a debt buyer. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on how I'm going with the validation of verification.
That's correct. Yep. So, and I think I got it on here, like charge off, because people don't understand. Again, when they see charge off and collection, they don't know how to identify if it's actually a charge off with the original creditor or if it's a collection. So those are just things that I struggle
Correct.
with too. Like it's a lot. It's more than just that letter and that reason. Like you still got to understand. So this is one reality that I know a lot of us face. Like, what if the bureau don't delete it? I send round one and I requested for them to delete it, but they decide to update it instead. They decide to correct it, or they come back verified, or if they didn't see nothing need to be changed. What the hell do I do? Like, what do I do? So knowing that the credit bureaus, they don't have to delete it because that's what you requested. They can update it. And that's why if you look at some reports, they say we reviewed your report and we made the updates or we corrected. They can fix the issue. And if it's valid, if it's theirs, then if they correct it and it belongs to that client, that is not something out of compliance. That is not something that's wrong. But you got to have other strategies because we ain't stopping there.
Right.
We going to keep
Yeah, no.
moving. So you can't just let that update still stop you from disputing it. So that's kind of where a lot of people mess up is they see updated and they don't know what else to
And yeah,
attack.
and someone had just asked on a previous message, like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
do we use what was on the last slide or whatever? You can sometimes so you it's two different things I've heard. Sometimes you can overput everything, and then that's why they will update it to exactly what you're saying, what is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The dates of last activity was wrong, the date to open was wrong, the date of last saying what is it, the comment section is wrong. Sometimes you give them a whole bunch and then they'll just update it all across three boards,
Mm-hmm.
bureaus.
And I've definitely seen that. And two, I don't know if y'all know, but the credit bureaus only have to respond to the investigation once for the same reason. So
Yeah.
if you're going out and you saying the balance wrong, the open date wrong, the payment stat, like you giving them every single thing, and like
Yeah,
Lakia said, they're
yeah.
gonna simply update it, and now you lost. Now you have nothing else to even use to go forward. Cause so don't go
Because you didn't
in.
name everything. So
Yes,
it'd be like you trying to be factual, but don't be too factual. Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
One
Like,
reason at a
yeah,
time. I stick with
that's
one
how you were
reason.
able to do so many rounds or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be.
Yeah. So don't let that update scare you because you still, guess what? The update is fine, but they still got to provide validation. They still got to do verification.
And
So
they have
don't,
to do it in an X amount of time, 30 days. They're supposed to do it 30
mm-hmm.
days. When it was COVID, it was 60 days. And then I
Yep.
also had something to say about the mailing system. If you're manually mailing, I was a mail deliverer. I delivered mail in Springfield, Illinois. Some days when I was real fat, y'all, I couldn't walk real fast. Shit. The mail wouldn't make it out the same day that you drop it. Sometimes I would leave mail in my bag. You would forget to dump it out. And then they do rounds. Like when you drop the mail into when you get in the office after I do my walk, I gotta come in the office, I dump it in the thing. Sometimes they have to sort through the mail. Then they
Mm-hmm.
send it out to the trucks. The trucks leave at a certain time every single day. If I'm carrying your mail and I don't get back until 11 o'clock at night, we have just missed the mail thing. Now you gotta wait until the next cycle of them coming to get that mail. So it
It's
really
a
is
lot.
snail mail. It's really a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And I'm a mail carrier. I could tell you I didn't drop mail, lost mail, damaged mail, then it didn't
Right.
got wet, it didn't got cold. It does happen, literally.
Yeah. So snail mail. So that's the thing about it. It get lost. So sometimes they're not ignoring you. They like I said, the kids say they probably didn't got it. Somebody probably went home with it in their bag. It happens. So sometimes you do have to send multiple letters. Sometimes you do have to certify. You do all that. So again, this call right here, we gonna lock in. We're gonna make sure that you guys get as much information again that VIP session section. If you have questions, that VIP lounge is where it's gonna be, where we can answer every single question you guys have. But let's go like dispute reason versus dispute instruction because there are two different questions. One tell the credit bureau what is inaccurate. The other tells the bureaus what you want to happen after they go do their little investigation. So the dispute reason, what is wrong? Is the open date wrong, payment status wrong, whatever is wrong, and what do you want done about it? So for instance, this is exactly what you want done. Please investigate. Please correct the inaccurate information. Please update the account accurately. If it cannot be verified through reasonable investigation, please delete the inaccurate reporting. What do you want to happen? If you just say delete, that ain't enough. Like you verify, delete. So you have to be clear. And again, everything sometimes is not going to be delete. Like you got to be clear in the instructions. So every dispute letter that goes to the credit bureaus have a reason and instruction. I really make sure where they can't mess up. I put the account name, the account number, the reason, in the instruction. And again, the letter is different letters. So, let's see here. My baby's in here crying. So that's pretty much what I have in my letter. And these are some, again, some supported documents that I have. If the client needs us to add more, like a bankruptcy discharge and it's showing something else, payment confirmation, they saying that they weren't late, but it's clearly showing late. Court records, if they say they got a divorce, so this shouldn't legally be on their account. It'd be a lot of stuff that be coming. I didn't deal with so much and crazy stuff, situation that it'd be a lot. So only submit documentation that actually supports what you're talking about. They don't need nothing that don't really matter with the investigation. So don't attach stuff that is not talking about the dispute. So quality beats quantity. Again, so beginners often overwhelm the bureaus because they include every document they have. Every single thing. I had one person that submitted literally like 20 pages of stuff. I have no idea why, but it happens. So if a late payment, only include the proof that's tied to that particular payment. Use documents that match the issue. Again, address history, ID records, general support. If to, and you don't have to put in documents, y'all. If it doesn't, you don't have any documentation, it's not needed. So don't think that if you don't have document, don't submit a dispute. Not saying that, but if you do have something from your client, attach it. And if it's 20 pages of stuff, because y'all know the response to stuff be 20 pages, don't attach all that. Just attach what is tied to whatever issue that you are actually disputing. So your
Right.
client file should tell, it should tell a full story. By the later rounds, every file should make a path to the next round. You shouldn't be guessing. You shouldn't be rereading. You shouldn't be starting over. Everything builds on top of each other. And you also need to keep up with what was mailed, when it was mailed, what was deleted, what was updated, what was verified, like everything. Everything needs to be in order. Right now the people that are using like Dropbox and Google Drive, are you guys storing like files like this and saving it by dates and kind of organizing it so if you do have to go back to it, file a complaint, you can just pull it in without having to kind of scan through stuff? All right, so Shakira, admit, look, I gotta get organized. I definitely get it. I was the same way. You gotta get organized so that if you do have to file that CFPB complaint, you got everything together. So
I just swear by my software. I love CRC software.
get out that
Um,
software.
no, I just love it. I really, really do. I've tried other CRCM,
Oh yeah, I love
CRM.
CRC.
But I cannot read certain ones. Some of them are too confusing, got too many damn buttons. CRC, I
Mm-hmm.
love it. It's rudimentary. It has it one, two, three. It's very,
Oh yeah, now I
and I
agree.
really use my boxes. I really use my inboxing and stuff like that with the clients. But I am big on files as well. I love keeping a conversation and stuff like that. So she said, I
Now that's true.
love
I
the
use
Q
Dispute
box.
Fox, not Dispute Fox. I didn't read Tierra message,
Yeah,
so
me
I
too.
use CRC as well.
Yeah, I
I like
can't do
both.
this Q box.
Yeah,
I can't work it.
when I first started and I used the Spew Fox, I was definitely overwhelmed. I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this? But once I got into like this program and I learned systems, like it was easy, but it is harder. My mentees have asked me, I'm like, if you knew, baby, I don't recommend the Spew Fox because it's very hard to
It's
use.
it's very
Um,
advanced. It's very, very advanced. But yeah, I like to keep my letters or whatever the case may be. So
hmm.
my drop I do use Dropbox. I love
Okay.
keeping my letters. So yeah, Dropbox is my go-to.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Keep it outside, store it outside that software. They shut down today. Look, you gotta still be able to hold up business on your end. So now that we understand like the structure, let's move to the workflow because, like I said, everything got to flow. You can't be disputing forever. 10 months, 12 months, a year. And I know, again, if you go to meetings, some people say, hey, we keep them here longer than this. It's just not how I do it. So Everybody's different. So this is a little bit of my flow. So how disputes move, they move through the bureaus first. Sometimes they go directly to the company, like repossessions and different things like we talked about yesterday. The dispute reason, it matches what's actually wrong on the report, the instruction, what I want to happen. If I got documentation, I'm attaching all of that. So let's walk through the exact process for me and Lakia. We're gonna tell y'all the flow that we've built, we've refined, and that we followed over these last years that has helped us with our dispute. Now, we talked about this on the first call for the people that missed it. I'm gonna let Lakia talk about this part because if you've been here since day one, you know I personally don't dispute personal information first. I know the dispute people going look, they're gonna go off on me. Why? But I don't, now I'm gonna tell you, there's not ever a case where I don't dispute personal information. So if a client is a victim of fraud, if it's their name not on their report, if it's not their birthday, because mixed file happened. I don't want them to have the name as their like a junior, senior. So I don't want mixed file. So if something is not them, yes, I am for sure going to investigate. But if the client has moved somewhere else or is their address, is their job, like if they're just not working there, I'm not saying that it's wrong. I also have like personal information letters that I give. I teach this process, but it's just not something that I just have to get done before I get into disputing the facts. So keep that in mind. Lakia, talk about your process with
Okay, so
like personal
so
information.
my process is completely different. I don't wait until all the personal information is updated, but I like to have one band, one sound. That's what I call it. One name, one address, one date of birth. I have no noticed if I do delete the addresses, my goal is to delete all old addresses. Because I have their ID match their bank statement or their ID match their proof of address so that we're not getting mail at any other addresses. And
Hmm.
sometimes removing old addresses will like mess with their system in the back and disconnect that number that they connect them to with the e-Oscar system or whatever. It will let that go and it will delete an account. So
So
sometimes removing old addresses can disconnect accounts because it's not connected. And I only learned that dealing with my own personal credit cards and stuff like that. When I called and updated some of my things fell off. Like I had a repo, it fell off because now I didn't pay for that car. I had got it in my auntie name. I didn't mean to do that, but I deleted that old address, it came off,
now that's correct.
literally.
Now
So
addresses can be tied to stuff, and it definitely will like so personal information. That's why, like I said, I teach people like if it's attached to like a collection too, like if it's attached to a collection, like you said, you're gonna have to update that address first to to get the system to not be able to connect the two. So with my process and not going that route, it it's the facts are still the facts. So
yeah,
when you dispute the personal information, it's great, it's good, but it does not necessarily block it. So I'm still getting results without going that way. So she's getting
right.
results by going that way. So if you pretty much you can do it or you can't do it. You going the goal is to still get results. And I know that
Yeah, see, old addresses. She said her claim went up
y-
170 points.
yeah, and that's true, but I'm telling you Calandra, it
Yeah,
is not a part of FICO 8, FICO 5, FICO 4, and FICO 2. Now, I've seen Vantage scores go up. Like I've removed address in cases. The client Vantage score went up like 85 points, which
yeah. And it
TransUnion,
is a difference.
yeah. But
Yeah.
when we check
And I had
FICO,
a girl, yeah, hers went up like 3 points on her FICO,
mm-hmm,
all
I'm
because of the
telling
addresses. But
y'all,
on Vantage, and that's why Credit Karma Baby is banking off of people because they make sure that you feel like all your credit is here and it ain't
mm-hmm,
shit. I'm not trying to be like that, but it's like that because
it's true
they be 100 points off of where you really are sometimes, 70 to 100 points off of your
for
real
sure.
scores.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen the credit score go up because of removing personal information, old addresses. I never seen FICO go up. Not one time. I've seen Vantage. I've seen like so it's so many different credit models too. And like I said, you can't be tricked, but FICO, if we know a FICO score, it's calculated by, payment history, all those different things. Not one time like it's the credit score cannot go up because of addresses because it's not even a factor. They're not looking at personal information to be calculated into the credit score. So I've seen as well where their FICO score went up, but maybe the age to an account also happened and the client think it was because of the address or they paid something down or so something else happened, but
Yeah.
I stand behind this. Personal information ain't increasing no FICO score. So that's
Oh,
my
it don't
take in
increase
that.
the FICO score. I want to say it's a loophole. Let's just call it that. It's a loophole.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it a spade a spade. It's a loophole. You can remove something and your score will go up
It would go up.
by
Yep. Cause
disconnecting something. But
mm-hmm.
let you pay a credit card down, your score will
Right.
go up.
It definitely
Welcome
will.
to
Sometimes
paying
it'll drop.
bills. Welcome to paying your goddamn bills.
Exactly, exactly. So personal information, that one gets tricky when it comes to it. I've seen again somebody pay the credit card down, we get that removed, and it happens the same time. Or again, their credit score went up like 85 points, and
Yeah.
we check FICO. I'm like, buddy, look, ain't nothing move. So you can do personal information if you like. So again, I'll dispute if it's wrong date of birth because again, I've definitely seen this with juniors and seniors and siblings and all that stuff. Addresses, they stayed with people, all that stuff. Wrong name. So if it's inaccurate, I'm disputing it. So if it's something when it comes to them and they live there, I'm not touching now. Now I don't touch it right then and there if excuse me, if we're at the end, if I want to double back and they just like, because we have clients like, can you still? Sometimes people just want to pay me like, hey, I got some addresses I want removed. Can you work on that too? I'll double back if they request it, but my goal is to get those scores up. So I'm attacking what is actually what's causing those scores. So negative accounts. Um, Again, negative accounts first. I do come back and address personal information second if they want me to, and clean up what's remaining. So we're gonna talk about like just pretty much the whole flow. Charge off versus collections. Now, this is something again I did not know. I thought that charge off and collections were identical again. Don't judge me. I started at 2018. No one in my family told me about credit, so I was just winging it. I was confused, both of them. So the difference, basically, a charge off, that's an accounting action by the original creditor. So the creditor writes off the account internally after they realize the client ain't gonna pay it, so it's become a liquid. So it's an accounting move. The statement, the balance, and they write it off and do a 1099 that's different. Um, but like people are thinking like it's so much that kind of goes on with the charge off and the collection. So charge off is basically just an accounting write off, basically is what that is. Now the third party, a collection account. This is actually when they sell it to a debt collector. That one, so charge off basically they didn't sell it, they just wrote it off. And then a collection is actually when they sold it. So it is different between those. So who currently owns the debt? So you identify who the current owner is by looking at the report. So the original creditor, if they still own it, like the kid was telling y'all, if you're disputing with the original creditor and you're disputing with the collection agent, the strategy is different. It's totally different.
Huge,
What?
huge difference. Huge.
Yes. What's your strategy
And
for original creditor?
um sometimes in-house like what is it, Capital One, baby,
Mm-hmm.
they not letting go. They do not want to let go. So I most definitely hit them with a factual dispute. But my favorite ones are charged when it's in a charged off status and
Mm-hmm.
when they sell it to the debt buyers. When they sell it to the debt
Yes.
buyers, baby, I be eating them up.
Mm-hmm.
LVNV portfolio recovery, they don't want to see me. They be like, oh, this must be Lakia, delete.
Mm-hmm.
So charge offs are my favorite because it's like it's kind of almost in limbo. And then when I see for profit write off, if I see that, then those are my favorite ones as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot. So a lot of times too, when they charge it off, they send a little 1099 form, and I know. So is that? So I'm not on the tax side, but ain't that 1099 like used for taxes too?
Yes, and so you can
Okay.
include that as your income. They would
Okay.
include as an income on your tax return. So that when you do file it, you have to, kind of write it off on your taxes as well because they wrote
Gotcha.
it off. Yeah, so they include it as an income. So that's income you got from them.
Okay. Let's see. Look, that's the part that I'm like, listen. I don't
Yeah.
even be knowing that part on the tax side, but I know they do that 1099 and I give it to my tax person and
Yeah,
he
that's
look, he did his
income. Like when
thing.
you working for somebody and you don't fill out nothing and you're not having federal taxes taken out of it, that is, you're supposed to do your own taxes. You're supposed to take your own taxes out of that money. So if you got a debt that's charged off and it's 17,000, that is an income because that was something you bought from them. You defaulted on
Hmm.
that money and that loan, the imaginary visible number that they gave you,
Right, and they
in
definitely
exchange
will.
for something, that is your income now.
Yeah, look, and that right there definitely makes sense. And but that changes it too because they've basically given that debt back to you. So when you look at the credit report, if that's what they did, there should not be a balance there. And that's where a lot of them messed up at. But see
Oh,
that now I did not know that it was income. And a lot that was new to me. But I did know if I got that
yeah.
1099, no balance was supposed to be there. Now I
Yes,
did know that.
because then like they charge it off, they got a profit. They're supposed to send you a 1099, so I win with that. That's my
Hmm.
house sway letter. So how
Yep.
did you do this? You're conflicting it with,
Hmm.
the credit bureaus and what you're saying. So send me my 1099. They 9 times out of 10 never send you the 1099, and
Yep.
then they try to make money off of it by selling it to LVNV for pennies on
Hmm.
the dollar. They'll sell a $17,000 account for $200 and just to make some type of money back. Now
Yep.
LVNV has did voluntary whatever they took it on, but I never told your ass to take on my debt. I never told
Hmm.
you to take on that 17. You did that on your own. So then that's when my letters come in with the straw man, and I
Yeah,
get
it's
that.
a lot. Like I said, when I tell y'all, it is a lot that goes into disputing. That's why it says not letters, it's not, I mean, dispute reason instruction that helps it format. But when you get to this part, because this is the part that's this ain't just round one basic dispute. Now you go online, you realize, okay, this is a balance on here. They started off, wrote it off. It don't supposed to be. So it start getting a little tricky once you start knowing the original creditor and the collection agency. So when the debt is sold outright, the original creditor is supposed to report a zero balance because they no longer own the account. So the collection is going to pop back up and they're going to show the balance. I've seen it to where the original creditors reporting the balance plus the collection agency. They can't both report a balance, so I'm demanding removal of both of those accounts.
Yeah,
So,
how? Yeah,
yep.
how are both of y'all doing this? Do they
Hmm.
own it or do you own it? Do they? And I play in
Right.
between that baby, like, oh, it be coming
You
right on off.
Right. I'm telling you, beast mode. Look,
Yeah,
that's why our strategies again, we do stuff a little different, but this is the system, the strategy that we both use, and I'm telling y'all, it works. But if you don't
yeah.
know that the original creditor not supposed to have a balance, you don't even know what to look for. That's why templates can only get you so far because
All right, yeah,
it ain't gonna have this in the template. So
yeah,
this is about that 1099 right here. It's pretty much when they cancel the debt, it goes automatic. It doesn't automatically mean deletion, but again, if you have cases to where they are reporting a balance and they're doing this, and so the 1099 is going to help to make your dispute process a lot better. So
yeah.
look out for that 1099 and ask the client if they receive it. If not, you can if it's been charged off and it hasn't been sold, you can request that. Statute of limitation versus reporting period.
Yeah.
This had me in the chokehold too. Everything had me in the chokehold. That's why
Yes,
I love disputing so much now because I was doing it so wrong that I literally had to learn.
you
So
really did. You
the
really did.
statute of limitations versus the reporting period is totally different. Now, back to talking to y'all. The people that know the difference, put one if you know the difference between the statute of limitations versus the reporting period, and two if you don't. All right. Perfect. So a lot of people don't. Again, don't feel bad because I can tell y'all now, I did not know either. So I was messing clients up real bad when it came to settling some of these accounts. So the statute of limitation, I know Melissa, I knew you gonna know because look, my mentee, y'all know I don't play by the statute of limitation. We ain't finna get nobody starting everything over. So Tierra, I already knew. So how long a creditor or a collector have to sue? That's the statute of limitation. It varies by state. It varies by agreement, and it varies by the action the consumer took. Was it a verbal agreement? Was it a written agreement? So that's the statute of limitation. Basically, how long they have to sue you on the debt. The credit reporting period, and Jimmy, once you get to the disputing course next month, you will learn more about their statute of limitations. But the reporting period is how long the information is actually going to remain on your credit report. So there is a difference with how long they have to sue versus how long it's gonna be on your credit report. For instance, when it comes to like contract, y'all know there's verbal contracts, there's written contracts, there's all that stuff. So for instance, let's say for your state, I'm gonna give an example. So let's say for your state, the creditor has 6 years to sue. If the like sue like LVN or they group suing, they have 6 years to sue. But we know that it falls off, and let's say, matter of fact, let's say the LVN has 4 years to sue your client, and let's say it's year six, and we know that it's going to fall off in year seven. Where a lot of clients messed up is because the debt collector, they're going to still try to contact your client. If y'all, they're going to still contact the client, they're going to still try to make you pay that debt. But even if you don't pay that debt, they can't sue you. There's nothing they can do if it has passed the statute of limitation. But if you don't know about the statute of limitation, they're going to scare you into making an agreement, saying something. So what you do, if you agree verbally, if you agree in writing, you will restart that statute of limitation. So if it's now year six, they can't even sue you anyway. But once you make an agreement or you say you're going to make a payment, you have started that statute of limitation over, and now they can sue you. Does that make sense before I move on to the next part of it? One for yes, two for no. Okay. Perfect. So that's why it's important to look and see the first, the last day of delinquency, all of that, because you can know when that time has passed. Now they're gonna try to collect for years. I've got some debt collectors that still trying to call me 10 years, ain't gonna lie. And they can't do nothing. They can't sue me for it. So now if they scare me into making a payment, that's when it messes up.
Oh, it messes it all the way up, starting it all the way over.
Yes. So don't agree to nothing. Don't have your clients agreeing to nothing, especially if you don't really know
No.
what can be impacted. So what can impact the statute of limitation? Making a payment, even if it's a partial payment, under state law, you have restarted that time. Signing a new agreement, a fresh agreement can change it. Of course, verbal, if your client agree verbally over the phone that they're going to try to do anything, that is. So I don't tell clients whether they should pay or they should not pay. I just educate them on all of this stuff, and we
Yeah,
look at the account.
I educate them as well. They say, what do you do about pay per delete? Mine is you have to delete it first, and it has
Yeah.
to be in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
I do not request that you pay anything and then they say after you pay, we'll delete it. That is a
Not at
lie.
all.
Do not fall for it. Do not go for it. Ask them to show proof that it was deleted and then you will pay them. And then that's when I
Mm-hmm.
learned about the trickness if they cash this money order, if they do this or do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so
It
many different
restarts it.
it restarts it.
Yes. So don't be that client like me that got that client messed up because they decided to get into an agreement and stop. And again, even though I tell them, like at first again, I didn't know this stuff. This is stuff that I did not know. I didn't even know that there was all I was going by the 7 years is reporting. Not knowing that some
Yeah.
states the statute of limitation be 3 years. Some like so it's different by the state. But
Yeah, and depending on if it's a debt collection or whatever, you wherever that company is, they have to have the right
to
or
collect in
legal
that state.
means to collect in that state. So if they don't
Mm-hmm.
have that, baby, it's out of there.
Is out of there. That's why I demanded in my letter. I need to
Yeah,
see. I need to see all this stuff. So the
yeah,
letter helps too, but knowing this, because again, you can put all this stuff into the letter. They send you all this stuff. You don't even know what to look for. So that's why all this stuff definitely matters. So the statute of limitation, keep that to the back of your head because I am going to kind of ask questions about that. Like once we get to the pay for delete, when would I recommend it? That's why the statute of limitation actually matters.
yes,
Um, because if like so it's a lot. I tell you it's a lot. So the
it
reporting
is.
period. Let me go to the credit reporting period. So as we know, standard 7 years, Visa chapter 7 and maybe 10 years, but mostly standard. 7 year is the timeline for like reporting. So reporting period, FCRA, how long a negative account can remain on a credit report. Statute of limitation is a state law, how long they can file a lawsuit. Different rules, different clocks, different strategies. So don't let them people get you. Do not let them scare you. Like somebody said, a lot of deception. They will. I'm telling you, they will hope that you don't know the law to trick you into making that payment because soon as you do, soon as
And that's why they are adjusting, since we have the AI now, it really helps
mm-hmm.
us break down the law that they already know, that they're aware of, because guess what? They wrote it in black and white. And when
I'm
it's in
telling
black
you.
and white, it matters. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A
So
lot of
this is
deceptions, that's why reading is fundamental, baby. I swear
it
to God,
is.
you gotta read. You have
I
to
learned
read.
all this stuff, y'all. I promise you. I haven't had a disputing coach, a disputing nothing, and we offer these services. But this is
That's
stuff
a
that I had to
fact.
learn, fucking up a few files. Won't even lie.
Yeah. So
um,
even though I took that mentorship, but baby, the disputing I learned, I just was learning, and you learn off of doing things, doing the
hmm
dispute process. I bought a lot of stuff from Elle. I think her
I
name was
did
Elle.
too. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
did some
yeah,
L Ellie.
I heard it, like her dispute flow is insane. If y'all think we got these, her pages was long, but the steps
hmm
was on point. It was just a lot. So
Yeah,
it
them
is a lot
emails
of
when we first started the emails, pay for her to send you them emails weekly or something like that.
yes,
Yes, girl, I'm telling you,
yes.
I was in it, but I had as
Yeah,
far as the coach. But yes.
yes, I got a dispute Bible. People whoever in my
hmm
mentorship, y'all know I have all of that. Like it's a lot. It's more than just getting in the letter and all this TikTok stuff and all of this other good stuff. Like we know the nitty gritty, like the
Yeah.
ins and outs of what is right, what is wrong. That's why I can read
hmm
a report so fast. I can tell you what's going on. And I do not like to take on clients. They have to be out of the last credit thing for like at least 90 days.
Yeah,
I don't
from
even
another company.
Yeah, 90
I do
days. I
60.
was told 6 months,
Yeah,
but
I do
I
six
can do,
months, no lie.
yeah, I can follow up behind somebody else's after 90 days, like depending on what the accounts are.
hmm
Yeah.
But these are some strategies because I know some of y'all probably wondering, like, okay, well, damn, what do I do now? So sometimes it's rare, but sometimes the best move may not be to continue disputing. If it's validated, if it's outside the stat, these are some other options. You could
Yeah.
negotiate a settlement. I mean, so credit repair too, it is not removing everything. It
Or,
happens. I ain't gonna lie. Put my hands up, put
or you
myself on
could
the
or
back.
you could just start over, or you could just start over building up by being on time with your current things.
hmm
It'll take a little bit of a while or whatever, but if you consistently pay what you have open already and work the accounts that you have, your credit you'll see
Oh
a
yeah.
slight change every single time because the old stuff does get old and the statute of
hmm
limitations come in and stuff like that. So
Yep, you can request a pay per delete. Now somebody asked about that. So again, we not agreeing to anything until we get that request, and I let the client know like you're starting this over to make sure this is what you want to do. Again, you can wait for the reporting period. It's gonna fall off one day, especially if it's old 5 and 6 years anyway. I mean, if you build some history on top of it, it's gonna kind of like you said, weigh itself out. Or leave it
yeah,
alone. If it's at the end, nothing else, everything's been updated, it's validated, like some stuff you gotta leave alone. So you do have
yeah,
options.
yes,
Um, so it's a lot. So how y'all feeling right now? Overwhelmed, happy, excited? Put it in the comments.
yeah.
It
It's a lot of
is.
information. But Tia said she bought a lot of videos and stuff like that. Yes. And you're gonna continue as long as you're not the type of person to give up and you remain a student and you don't think you know it all, you'll get it. You'll see something
Mm-hmm.
different because I still remain a student out of everything
Yes.
because some ways don't still work, and then I have to revamp, or I have to relearn, or I have to reread, or go
Mm-hmm.
see what they are trying to use. If it's something I can use, you have to be willing to revamp in this industry at all
Yeah.
times.
I update my letters yearly. That's one thing that I do. I do update yearly. Because it's live.
Now
Shit, I'm
you good, girl. I ain't did that.
ChatGPT make it easy.
That it do, but some of my letters, when I say they hit. Like
That's why I said
they
I'm sure gonna buy some of your letters, I swear.
But I promise you, some of them bad boys, baby. Man, that top round first kill and them Strawman letters, they work every time. I'm not changing them up. I ain't changing it until they be like, look, kid, we know you. This is you.
Look, when everybody buy it, they gonna be like, "Yep, time to switch it on." No, we look.
Michelle, facts, it works. So sometimes when I see certain charge-offs, I'm telling you, LVMV, Midland, Portfolio Recovery, they don't like me. I see systems, they don't like me. They know what's up. They know
I
how I'm
can't.
coming.
That's why I say I can't wait. I'm telling y'all, y'all better get these letters that we have because two of my dispute letters, I do walk you through how to use every single one of them. You're gonna be like very overwhelmed, but once you get to the flow and process, it's gonna be good. So let's talk about our dispute system because, like me and Lakia said, we ain't it's not forever. I stop at 8, she stop at 9, so our process is gonna be a little similar. So I'm gonna walk out through just again my process. So again, credit repair is not just sending out letters. It's about building a strategy that the file needs to move along, move forward, and a letter it just ain't doing it. It's just not doing. So every investigation should give you more information, either learn what was verified, deleted, updated, ignored. Every response should shape the next move and get you the answer so you can know what the next move should be. So every letter should be a part of overall like a larger plan. So disputes are tools inside the strategy, not the strategy itself. So the initial dispute, round one. This is what we call the initial dispute. So the objective here for me is simple. I look to identify the factual reporting inaccuracies and request for an investigation to be done with the credit bureaus. Like I told y'all, now I'm not throwing everything out in one letter. I'm looking at the file. I'm pointing out the most basic, easy one. It's usually the account status or payment history. Like I'm just looking for something that's wrong, factual, and using that. So again, these are a list of things that I look for. Every dispute from the file is based on these reasons. So I do use factual reasons. I wish I had a letter that I could have pulled up. So that goes to the bureaus, basically letting them know, hey, I'm here to dispute, and this is why I want to dispute it, and also too what I want to happen once you get done with the dispute. Again, I have different strategies. Like if it's a bankruptcy, it's going to the bankruptcy court in this. If you attended yesterday, call, everything don't go through round one because I have specialty accounts that have different strategies, charge off, things like that. But all collections, they go through they go through this round one account. So every account is reviewed individually. Every dispute reasons is selected individually. Every dispute instruction is selected individually. So I look for what is wrong, identify the specific reporting issue on the account before anything. Why is it wrong? I confirm the items that matter, whether the reporting conflicts. That means I'm comparing all three credit bureaus. Do the client have any documentation that matches it? Because if they do, perfect. If they don't, that's fine as well. But what I want to happen, do I want them to investigate and correct? Do I want them to investigate and update or investigate and delete? And I'm shooting for deletions. I don't know about y'all. Deletion. Again, we talked about updates. Again, if it's a few little late payments, inaccuracies, we asking for updates then. But those collections, I want them gone. Okay.
Deleted.
This is a myth. I ain't gonna say it's a myth because in 2018 it had me scared. I was only disputing 5 accounts at a time. I dispute every single account. What's your take on this, Lakia?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now, when I
Okay.
first started off, I was doing only five at a time.
Yeah.
Um, I dispute every single thing in round one. Like, and I'm not just talking
Mm-hmm.
about, I break it down, personal
Me too.
information, inquiries,
Mm-hmm.
collections, charge-offs, medical bills, like that, when I
Mm-hmm.
say I dispute everything. But it
Yep.
is some cases that I will put all of the accounts on one letter, and it does work. That's just with certain letters and certain reasoning or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm breaking it down.
So no more 5 accounts. If you were doing five
No.
accounts, you do not have to do it. I
Only way
know.
I'm doing five accounts is if I got five accounts left.
Right. But
Like that's it.
yes.
Yeah.
I dispute everything. So I don't choose accounts by quantity. My process is with the file, like I said, bankruptcy letter going out, repossession, everything goes out. That's considered round one for me. Like I said, but when collections is, all the collection goes one. So if it's factual, it's getting out of there. Bottom line, I dispute facts. I don't look at numbers, like everything is going out. Certified mail. I got too many people to send out certified mail. So I do not start with certified mail. Certified mail is for documentation because if there's a case where it's getting to where like I feel like I gotta file a CFPB complaint, yeah, I'm gonna get certified mail because that's the extra proof. But I just don't do it the first time. So certified mails is like again, if you feel like you're getting ignored or you don't really know if the letter was sent there, those are certified mail cases to the credit bureaus. Creditors, they get all certified just because I need they be trying to play. So credit bureaus, not so much. So this is just standard mail. When I do escalate, again, if I feel like I'm not getting a response or if I need a stronger paper trail, I do use certified mail. And then if I'm talking to the creditor or collection agencies, I do certified mail. What's your take on certified?
Same.
Okay.
I only do certified mail when I really need a paper trail where we need timestamps of about certain things. Yes. So
Perfect. So
it's not. I'm doing basic regular mailing. And I do use cloud at times, and then I do hand mail as well.
okay. And I use DocuPost for mail, and I've been using DocuPost since like 21. Similar to letter screens, still letter screens take forever to mail letters out. So I didn't like that part about it, but I love DocuPost. I just posted it here. They mail out the letters the next day. They also will send letters with a return receipt, like for bankruptcy, so I don't have to do nothing but pay the little charge for it, and they include that. So letter the DocuPost is really, really good if you guys didn't know about that little hidden gem there.
And then
But
what CRC they do offer certified mail.
okay.
It's like 435 or something a letter or
Oh,
whatnot.
you can't beat that. You
Yeah,
can't
you
beat
can't
that.
beat it at all. Because
'Cause
when I manually send them, it's 930.
yeah, and that's about the
Yeah,
price the letter screen is.
yeah,
So yeah, I think letter screen with the US Post Service. I don't know, but it's definitely good. The letters go out the next day, so that's truthfully what I love. So after you do send
yeah,
out round one, this is the only thing that's gonna happen. One of these. So don't get so scared. Don't get so nervous. Either they're gonna delete it, which is what we want.
yeah,
They're gonna update it. They're gonna revise with whatever little stuff the creditor told them to revise. They're gonna correct it if it's wrong. They're gonna make it right, or they're gonna verify and say it was confirmed or no changes. If the
yeah.
bureau think that nothing needs to be changed after they review, that's fine. If you get verification, it is not the end. Don't it look? It's just starting up. It's just for
And
you
it's
to get
not, y'all. I
excited.
promise you. I just
It.
removed a $14,000 what is it, Bank of America account from my own credit report. Don't ask me shit. The shit life was happening. So I just removed it, and they verified it so many times, and I just got it deleted like maybe 3 weeks ago. Yeah, go ahead with all that
I'm
verified. I
telling
don't
you, I
care
don't
what
care
y'all
about it.
seen, what y'all thought. I see one thing wrong, I want it off.
I'm telling
So
you.
yes, that 14K was deleted off my credit report.
So it happens. So don't let verification scare you. Now the method of verification. This is again the
Mhm.
verification and validation. I just can't believe how I was just out here doing stuff, but I was. Once the bureau say they verified the item, the next question is not whether to argue, is how it was completed. That's it. How did you do it? So you want to
That's
ask
my
them.
21 questions letter, baby. It'd be
I
like,
can't
how?
wait to
Who did you
get
talk to?
it.
Man, that letter's so good. Yeah, 21
Yeah,
questions.
so the method of verification, this is a request for the description on how the reinvestigation was done. So the verification is basically a way of asking the Bureau to explain the procedures used during the reinvestigation, including who supplied the information, how the review was handled. They don't got this information because again, they don't hold none of this. They simply report through an e-Oscar electronic. They do not have this, y'all. So but people don't know. They don't even know that they don't have it. So they like, what do I do? So once what you will send is you will send verification. Now, this is not a validation request not at this point. This is basically asking the bureaus what did they do and how did they get the result. So verification. After the dispute comes back verified, again, you're gonna request additional information on how it was investigated, who supplied the information, what the bureau's got. So this is the distinct difference between verification and validation. And it took me a long time to understand this. I feel like I was a little slow a little bit. Verification is the bureaus. So this relates to how the credit bureaus review the dispute information and they confirm what was reported. When it comes to the creditor, the validation is tied to them. This is tied to them saying they're trying to collect the debt, they're trying to sue you. They cannot sue you with verification. Verification is going to be if you ever ask for verification and the creditor sent it, it's a one-page paper. It's literally just the creditor's name, how much the balance was for. They can't do that. That cannot hold up in court. But that's what you're asking for. When you are asking for verification, you're asking for that one-page letter. That's all you're asking for. And that's just enough for you to be able to see like who the company is, because a lot of times when that's sold to a debt collector, you don't know who the hell it is unless you know the balance and stuff like that. But we acting dumb. Prove it or remove it. I don't know nothing. Is what I so I need you to tell me. So the bureaus are going to tell through the system, they're going to tell the furniture that, hey, Sunday wants to know how this is verified because you told me it was verified, but I now I need some proof. Now you need to send Sunday what she's asking for. So the bureaus are going to stop responding to you. A lot of people is looking for the bureau to send them something. And again, they're just a reporting agency. They do not have verification. They report whatever the creditor told you. So now your client is going to start getting phone calls. And I love it. I have a lawyer. So I love those phone calls. I love those. They're going to start getting settlement letters. They're going to start getting a whole bunch of stuff once you start requesting that verification. But some of them will send you verification, and that's fine. So now in my part of the process, I stopped talking to those the credit bureaus. Now I move my attention to the big dogs. Validation. So before I get too deep into this, what does your first two rounds look like, Lakia, if they look different from mine?
It don't look no different. It
Okay.
just depends. It just depends on my account.
Right.
Like
Like
if
I
it's
said, if it's that
if it's
repossession and all that.
LVNV, if it's the
Mm-hmm.
LVNV, it's the debt buyers. I am sending my strawman letters directly to them, my MOD directly to them, to the debt buyers. So anybody having trouble with LVNV, my strawman letter will eat them down. I'm talking about I got strawman letter round one, two, and three. It will eat them down. And sometimes I'll send all three. I'll drop one on Monday, skip Tuesday, drop one on Wednesday, skip Thursday, drop one on Friday, and it's coming off. I just get a letter saying it has been deleted.
I love it. I love she put
And
her website
on those
yesterday.
collection letters, like I ask my clients if they got any letters from the debt buyers. When they have those
Mm-hmm.
letters and those respond date back, you're supposed to respond, y'all. Y'all
Right.
can say, hey, if y'all respond to the letter, that's when like they stop it. They have to delete it until they get another letter from you. So
Mm-hmm.
say you get that letter in the mail and they be like, please respond by August 18th. Most people just throw it away.
Ignore it. Yep.
Those are my favorite letters to have because once they tell you we will delete this off of your account if you respond by this date. It says it right
Mm-hmm.
there. Reading is fundamental. So
And you can put in
if,
your letter. My validation letter tells them to delete it until they provide validation. It's coming off.
correct.
It's coming
Yeah.
off with validation. It's
But
telling it's
when they
telling
send
them.
you that letter, that's the best time to respond.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming off.
So that's why I got POA too, because these clients ain't finna mess up what I got going on. I
Right.
got to I
It's like
look.
it become my credit. Their credit report become my credit report.
Yes, I
Cause
need
like
that
why they
POA.
playing with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is why my
I'm gonna
flow.
try the POA. I'm gonna just try it.
The try with one client I got a lot. You're gonna be like, look, this process smooth. You don't, I don't need that from you. They gonna send it straight to
Yeah,
your house, your address.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna tell my team we gonna try it.
It makes it so much easier. I don't need to ask them for nothing because it comes straight to me. So we get to keep the process going. So validation, it goes deeper. So at this stage, the communication shift from the credit bureaus, and we're in round three. I don't know if y'all see the top because we moving real quick, but this is where my the communication stops from the credit bureaus and goes toward the creditor collection agency. The goal is to request validation and push past a basic investigation. So bureau to validation. So why this matters? Validation is not the same as verification. Um, it shifts because if the creditor is trying to sue or trying to collect, they need to be able to provide full everything. Like they are the account history, the payment status, the original contract that they can collect in that state. So this is why it's different. Like this is why verification again, the verification is for you to just see who the company is that's saying that the client is owing this. Validation is saying like I need all this if you're trying to sue the client.
Yeah, the
Um,
validation is proving. So you're actually owe the debt, the amount is correct, that they have the legal right to collect it, and the debt is yours and not time barrier.
mm-hmm. That's where that statute of limitation come in. That is it's gonna always revert back to that too, because you can see if time passed, should your client like it's some conversations gonna be like, hey, but I think you probably need to settle this paper, delete this. So it may get to that point. But again, if you don't even know about the statute of limitation, you don't even know what you're reading. Again, now you like we told the other people in the other call, you don't have to know how to read a lot of this stuff. Put it in ChatGPT, ask it to read it and explain it to you, and create a letter based on the response. So we gotta just get better when it comes to how to talk to chat, how to talk to Claude and get the responses that you get. So every response has a different pattern. And based on the response, that's how you move to like the next phase. So if you receive a response, that's part of paper trail, and that's going to help determine where we need to move the file forward to round four. Do we need to redefine? Do we need to escalate? Like what happens there? If you receive partial, because they love sending you some incomplete stuff. They love sending your client an offer, like a good offer. I mean, them offers be very tempting. What's missing? So that determines how you're going to go there. Or if you receive no response at all, this is not the end of the process. It just becomes part of record and helps you to if you got to sue. So I document everything again. Then I come back to if it didn't come back, what happened? So that kind of shift my process depending on like what happened. A lot of times they're gonna respond. They're gonna either send a settlement offer, incomplete information, delete the account, or send you validation. If they send you validation, you cannot be scared when they send you validation. So my approach is I ain't going back and forth. I'm not arguing. I'm staying focused on the facts, the conversation, very aggressive letters. But I ask them now if I'm going around four, that means you playing. If I ask for a lot of stuff. I asked for a lot of stuff in this point. So if you are playing with me at this point, now my letters get a little aggressive. Like at this point, I'm certifying again. But hey, I received a settlement offer. That is not what I'm asking you for. What I need to get from you is this, and that. If you do not send me this, that, now I'm asking for 15 days, not even 30 days, because you plan. If you don't send me what I need within 15 days, I demand you delete this account. It's coming off. Or they're gonna send you validation, either or. But they're not gonna keep playing in your face. So sometimes you gotta escalate a little bit. But it happens. Anything you do differently here in this part of this process?
No,
Okay. Let's talk about some prompts too. I know we talked about like some of the prompts that people can kind of use in ChatGPT to help them, and I don't have it on the PowerPoint. I forgot to add the prompts part into the letter. So again, I use like I said, even though I know this stuff now, but I'm lazy. So if we got AI and ChatGPT to help us to make this stuff easier, why not use it? So if I do get a response, let's say I get a settlement offer or I get some proof that they claim it is validation. Again, I upload it and I will upload the letter I sent and I will upload the response that they gave me and just ask ChatGPT, hey, this is what I asked them for. This is what they gave me. Can you tell me what was missing? It's going to tell you what they gave you was this is that the payment this you can even attach a little bit of like a screenshot of the account that's on the credit report and say this is how the account is reporting, point out the errors, point out what's wrong. I'm telling y'all it will create exactly what it is that was wrong, and you can even say make the letter aggressive but professional, and it will split it out. It will spit it out for you. So that's kind of how round four goes. I don't play when it comes to round four, but now, round five, this is a little different. Now, most accounts for me are removed within round four. By round four, most everything's been validated. We didn't clear some. Like this is kind of where we're easy now. At this point, my clients have started building their credit. If you was us with day one, you know at this point, clients are already at least 3 months in with credit cards. They probably add another credit card at this point. Like we're kind of looking at what's left, what has changed, what's still on here, like what's gonna be the next step when we come to round five. Round five for most people, are you guys so again through coaching and teaching, I realized that some people don't dispute with the creditors. If put one if you do dispute with the creditors, and put two if you've never disputed with the creditors. Okay. You see how shocking that is, Lakia?
Yeah, I'm just, but when I first started, I was not disputing with the creditors at all.
And you know, I
Like,
always did. I don't know what I said. I was doing so wrong though. I ain't gonna lie. But yes, I've always done that. But I realized too, a lot of people past the credit bureaus, they don't even know that there's another route you can even take.
yeah,
So this is opening you guys up to a lot of stuff. Like, hey, we look, it ain't done when you speak with the credit bureaus. Literally, I talked to them
right.
round one and round two. After that,
Yes.
we done with you, at least for now. But my
Yeah.
strategy changes. Round five, if whatever's remaining, now I'm going back to the credit bureaus at round five, or I'm going whatever some repossessions or
No,
whatever
the
the other
charge up,
stuff.
if it say LVNV, I'm going straight to the credit, the
For
credit. I'm
sure.
going
Oh
straight to
yeah,
them.
I do that too.
Straight to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, I'm not talking to the credit bureaus about what these debt buyers involved. Why you bad ass? Why you do this
Right.
to your own self? So,
That
yeah,
look for sure. Now this right here, when I go back to round five, at this point, it's again everything has been validated because that I got proof. I got proof in hand that you owe this debt, buddy. You know you owe it. We both looking at the same proof. ChatGPT said everything is everything. But validation still don't scare me. Like only thing that's saying is basically if it's within the statute of limitation, they can sue. That's what they're saying. They can sue. A lot of times statute of limitation has expired. That's why they ain't did nothing. That's not so that's why they haven't done nothing. So what we go back and do now, whatever's remaining, I focus my attention on what's left on the credit report, and now I go back to the credit bureaus. So I look at the updated report, previous disputes, and my team take good notes. But kind of look at what's been done, remaining inaccuracies, because again, when you submitted round one and round two, you only disputed one error, unless you put everything in and mess yourself up. But if you fall in this flow, you've only disputed one thing. So what happens is that account still have other stuff that's wrong. It's something else is wrong, so what I do is I will go back and I will start disputing those other things that are wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the credit bureaus are required to investigate a new reason now. Now, if you keep using the same reason, they're gonna just ignore you. But if you open a new reason that says, "Hey, this open date is wrong, this payment status is wrong," they are required to open a new investigation for every new reason. And
yeah.
the creditors, guess what? They only have 30 days to respond. And if they don't respond, you may get lucky because it happens. Once we be going back, sometimes they don't respond and the account comes off. Even though we had validation, it comes off. Another thing too, the credit bureaus don't have the creditors not providing what we need to keep it on there. So when we go back round five with those other accounts, even more accounts begin to drop off. So we pretty much starting over again with the accounts that were valid. And we do this between round five, round six, and round seven. So that's kind of what the flow is for me. And sometimes it may be round five and round six, or maybe it's just round five. It depends on how many errors are remaining on the credit report at this point. What's your five through like seven, look here?
Uh, I'm probably not even making it there. At by round two and a half, um, I'm responding and I'm hitting with the backdated letters. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
I'm
Now
that
backdate for
that's
people that are not familiar with that. What do you mean about that?
So back then, so what I do is like I said, Sunday don't start off with personal information. Personal information for me is a go. My little trick is I don't put a date on the personal information letter. I send
Okay.
all of the personal information letters out without a date. So then therefore they cannot say I have not disputed. My first round letter, sometimes I backdate 30 days. And remember, I'm doing all of this in one sitting. I'm not doing this on separate days. So when I
Okay.
get the account, personal information, no date. The first round of letters, I'm backdating 30 days. If I started today on the 24th, I'm going to put it that I started May 24th on that second one. And then on the third letter that I'm creating, I am putting that date 15 days back. And then the fourth letter I create, or the fourth round of letters I create, I'm putting today's date.
Okay. Now reasons. 'Cause I know some people are wondering. Because again, I know you definitely did that
So
too.
my reasonings are like either I'm factual disputing or I'm hitting them with some of the laws. So if it's late payments, I'm going for USC codes. If it is credit acceptance, I'm most definitely going for Metro 2 compliance codes. And then my goal is to get it deleted. Late
Hmm.
payments, depending on when it will be to update it. And then for certain other ones, it will be most definitely just deleted. Exactly what you had kind of in one of those slides. You have to tell, so you're telling them what the problem is,
Hmm.
and you're telling them exactly what you want to do with this problem. So that's how I break mine down.
Okay. I know look, we giving y'all a lot. We
Yeah,
giving y'all a lot. But so far, everybody with us. One of you with us, two, you kind of with us, and three, you just ain't with us at all.
yeah.
Look, this is a safe place, because I know we didn't
Yeah.
gave y'all a lot.
Okay, yeah, at least so y'all understand, and I like that. I'm so happy that
Perfect.
y'all understand that. Yeah, because it was a lot.
Yes.
Some people don't grasp it, but I feel like y'all are
Mm-hmm.
credit repair specialists. So y'all like, yeah,
Yes.
kid, what you just say?
If it was
Yeah.
me, I would have been lost. I'd have been like, "Hey, can you set up a country
Yeah.
call with
I'm,
me?" So,
I'm for real. Like it works, and it's just depending on what's needed, and also
mm-hmm.
depending on the client. Sometimes I get anti clients or whatnot. Sometimes I get desperate clients. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, I need this deleted. I'm trying to move, and I be telling
Right.
them like, look, don't think I can work a miracle overnight. I'm gonna do what I can do, but like, don't be expecting this to come off in a day. Shit, no,
Mm-hmm. It
we
comes off
need a
some
little
people,
bit
like
of
you
time.
said, but look, don't you can't expect
Yeah,
that's for everybody.
yeah, Jimmy, you'll start understanding it a little bit more, but I told y'all, like, look at other people methods and Bando Kevin, that he was a really great help with me learning different strategies. He was like the first person that kind of broke it down like hood terms, you know what I'm saying, for
Mm-hmm.
me. And Brandon Weaver was something I combined with that. I love Brandon Weaver and I love Bando Kevin.
So yes, I say it's definitely a lot. It's definitely a lot. But one thing, the law is on your side. FCRA, listen, the law requires for a reasonable investigation. And this is something that I see a lot too, because again, I read the laws. Um, a lot of people say that the 100% accurate. If you look at FCRA, that is not the specific language. It basically says it has to report as accurately as possible or something. I wish I would have had it pulled up. I want to do a
Yeah,
screenshot. So that phrase is commonly used in credit repair, but if you look at FCRA, it
yeah,
does not say.
maximum possible
Yeah,
accuracy. Yes,
something like
Kiera, that's
that.
it. That's
It ain't
exactly it, baby.
100%. So I know people be saying that, but I just want to throw that in there that is not what it says. But round 6 and 7, if it's factual, we just kind of go back and escalate. If we got some stuff that we've been ignored, then we do, CFPB. Like before I get to this point, like it just rarely gets here when I have to file and escalate. But if I do, I do it. Turning referral, like so. This is like the escalation point that we feel like anything else kind of needs to be escalated. Again, when I file a complaint, it's not my first move, but I will get there. If I have all the documentation, proof that I've been ignored, proof that they didn't update it, I got everything, that paper trail, I am for sure going to do it. Again, I don't practice law and give legal advice, but if you guys need some attorneys, we talked about bankruptcy attorneys, the McCarthy law firm, I'll drop it in our group chat tonight for the mentorship. You can set up with them, and then that's kind of where the lawsuits and stuff come back. And reinsertion. I did want to add this in here. It happens. So sometimes the item that you previously disputed reappears on the consumer report. This is called a reinsertion. A deleted item is not always gone forever, but they cannot just put that thing back without without telling the client. So an account or a piece of information that was removed after an investigation, if it shows up again without them telling the client, then that's a violation. They cannot do that. If deleted information is reinserted, the bureau must follow the law and the timing requirements, and it's like 5 days before they place it back. They don't do that. They don't do that. That's why it's coming off again. So I do have a reinsertion letter. If that happens, that's very effective too. So know that if they reinsert it back, and I don't mean they sell it to another collection company and it comes back. I'm talking about the same company puts it back,
Get back
same
home. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I
Because
get
people getting that
reinsertion letter,
confused.
baby. They never send you a 5-day notice like, hey, we're about to place this back on your credit.
Never
As
ever.
soon as I see it back on the client, reinsertion
Mm-hmm.
immediately.
Yep.
Immediately.
So it happens. Again, reinsertion is not a new company. That's a new debt, and that's the thing about it. They can sell it as many times as as they want to. So keep that in mind. Now, removing dispute remarks. This is a part of my process simply because most of my clientele is homeowners. So if a client wants to become a homeowner, they cannot have the end dispute remarks on their credit report. So this is the final step that we do for everybody, whether they want to get a house or not. We just let them. So what we do, we send out a letter. I have like a dispute remarks letter, and we send it out. It takes snail mail. It takes about 30 days. So the fastest way is we just have the consumer to call. We provide them numbers, they call, and they'll actually remove the dispute remarks within 48 hours. So that's my process. So when I stop, right? Round eight is where I stop. Now there may be cases again where we continue to go, like if it's settlement. I'm not a debt settlement or option. So I don't send out debt settlement letters, but I do help my client to kind of build it, but they mail it themselves. Paper delete. If we discussing the paper delete option, that's an option as well. Wait for expiration. The time we tell them to wait for it to expire, it's past the statute of limitation, meaning they can't sue you anymore. It's 5, 6 years. It's coming off anyway. You already built some positive stuff. Like but they didn't validated it. We got it. Like, just leave it alone. So some stuff you got to wait for it to expire. And at this point, they've already started building their credit. If someone wants like a high limit credit card or something else, we kind of keep them for the credit building phase. But for the most part, like we didn't delete everything by round eight. If I haven't deleted it by round eight, it ain't coming off.
Yeah.
It's not coming out for me. So I don't have again a measured letter. This is the strategy that I use. So credit repair is definitely not about removing everything. It's about helping people reach their financial goals ethically. You want to help them build. You want to like it's a lot more than just delete, delete, delete. Some stuff may be corrected. Some stuff may remain. Some stuff may be settled. Now without a paper delete, make sure you get that. But ultimately, they should be in a better situation than what they came in. So it's progress. It is not perfection. So there's nothing perfect. Again, there's no magic letter, no shortcuts, no secret sauce. If I had it, I would sell it to y'all for $1 million. But no hidden FCRA tricks, no one size fit alls. It's about knowledge, strategy, documentation, consistency, and ethical practices.
Yes.
So that's all I
It's not an
have.
overnight process. Can you look up sometimes? Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
as y'all can see, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So,
Yes, yes.
but I still
Did
love it.
did y'all enjoy tonight? Well, these last 3 nights for people that's been with us these last 3 nights, for the people that just joined tonight, did you guys love it? You guys can come off of mute now. Let's hear from y'all.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I'm thankful for this refresher. Thank y'all so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Yes, I'm glad y'all came. It was
I
fun
definitely
talking
did
to
enjoy
y'all.
it.
It definitely
Yeah.
was. I love teaching. That's my thing. I love teaching. I love helping. I know I be just in my own little corner. People always say I be my own little